Hello, good evening. My name is Tiffany Roman. I am your host, and this is Small Biz Highlight. Hello, wonderful people. Good evening. It's another Monday night, and I am here to introduce you to two amazing business owners. Uh, right now, we got to go through the spiel beginning, like I always do. First of all, we are live with StreamYard. So we absolutely welcome you to leave questions, comments, what have you during the live stream. But in order to make sure that we can see your name and your picture, please make sure that you're going to streamyard.com/Facebook to give them both permission to talk to each other. I would love to put your comment on the screen, but I also would like to know who's talking to me. Just saying. As always, 2021, this is your year. No matter what your dreams are, your aspirations, your goals, this is the year for you. It is November 1st. So, guys, that means we have what? 60 odd days left in this year. So get it. You have so much time left. That's so much time to accomplish. Even if you haven't gotten there yet, you've got this. I believe in you. Spread the love to all your family and friends. All right. So, speaking of friends, my friends button is MIA on my Facebook page. So, I can't invite anybody to like my page, nor can any of the people invite people. So please take a moment, look through the page, maybe just take a moment to like and share this video. Doing so brings awareness to the page and therefore brings awareness to all the businesses I've been able to interview so far. Help me spread the word about small businesses in general because that helps, build their reach out there. Get them in front of people they may not have been able to in the first place. Help me, word of mouth, please. All right, so what's new? As I always tell you, I have way too much going on that's new that I can't go through it all in this because then it would just take up the whole episode. And how unfair is that? But I will bring a couple things to your attention. First of all, we were nominated. We are a finalist for the 5th annual Veteran and Military Spouse Entrepreneur Awards. The winner is going to be announced November 4th. So keep your fingers crossed. I will definitely keep you informed as to whether or not I'm a winner. You never know, but it's so cool to be a finalist. Tuesdays, every Tuesday, I will be live on Clubhouse, SBA at SBH Show, going live, talking to small business owners. We do a icebreaker comment. We use my favorite game, Top Tail, to kind of shake it up a little bit, get them talking about something other than their business, but also giving them that opportunity to introduce themselves and what they've got going on business-wise. So stop by, have some fun with us, and just lay back and relax a little bit. Wednesdays, that's when I will be updating you on what all is going on. Because, like I said, there's just way too much. But I'm looking forward to that opportunity to let you know what's all going on. Every 20th of the month, that started this past October, I will be featuring Top Tail on a networking game night. Absolutely free event, totally meant for bringing small businesses together to get to know each other on a personal level on top of getting to know how we can help each other professionally. You know how I am about personal connections, 100% important to me. And that's what I'm bringing to the table with this networking game night. And finally, the time is here. We are so close. November 27th is going to be Small Business Saturday, and I am hosting my live event. I will be live for 12 hours, giving businesses 15 minutes to pitch their business however they feel. It could be a small interview with me, they could be giving us a tour of their facility, whatever they decide to do. It's totally up to them. It's their little infomercial, if you will. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a very long day, but I know it's going to be a ton of fun. So please join me. The whole purpose is to encourage shopping small and proving that small businesses can be a great choice for knocking out your holiday shopping. So don't forget. All right. So that's enough of my spiel. I'm going to stop boring you guys with all that. Like I said, Wednesday, I'll go into more details, show you all the pictures, do all that. But right now, I have the opportunity to introduce you to Scott. Now, he has a very cool business that I'm looking forward to introducing to you. But first, let's introduce you to Scott. So give me a second here because my computer is taking a little bit here. There we go. Hello, sir.
Hi, hello. How are you, Tiffany?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Doing great, thank you.
Thank you so much for being here tonight. I know you've probably got a really crazy schedule, but it's always appreciative for small businesses taking the time to be here.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. It's great to be able to share what we've been working on with others and get their feedback. So I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Okay. Well, before we get started talking about what it is you do on the business side,
Okay.
how about we help the listeners learn more about you personally?
Okay.
Who are you, Scott?
Well, I'm a lifelong banker from Wisconsin. That about 7 years ago decided to go down a different path. During my career, I've worked with consumers and a lot of small businesses, and kind of working with them, I've seen both the good and the bad, where you help somebody else, you see them survive, but unfortunately, you also deal with having to go into a business and say, you know what, unfortunately, we can't do anything else for you. So it's kind of pulling on those experiences, and my family's been pretty fortunate, or pretty helpful in allowing me to work on this at night and weekends. So it's been a long time, but we're looking forward to getting it off the ground and getting it going. So that's a
That's so
short.
great. That is so huge with small businesses to have that support from your family because it could easily be 100 times harder to try and get something off the ground if your family's not on board.
Right.
So,
And
you know,
a
that's so
lot of,
amazing.
yeah, a lot of my family and friends, they've been involved in businesses too. I've been pretty fortunate to work with a series of freelancers. So really everything we've done has been built with the help of others. It's not any one of us controlling the conversation. It's been very informative. There's been a lot of open discussions and a lot of positive feedback, and no one ever took anything personally, which is a good thing. So
That is amazing. That's teamwork at its best. So what you have created is called OneSourceDirect. Tell us more about what is OneSourceDirect.
OneSourceDirect is a different kind of social media platform. A lot of the platforms require that you go in and build strong networks. I kind of look at social media almost as a pyramid scheme at times, where you go in and help somebody else grow their business and hope that other people come in behind you and help you. So what we did is we came up with a platform that allows users to connect directly with one another. So that if I'm looking for something, I can go directly and connect directly with users on the platform that actually have what I'm looking for. So we've done that, but we've allowed you to connect in several different ways. You can actually send what's called a need request, which simply is something that I'm looking for, which turns into somebody else's leads. But we also figure that there's a lot of small businesses that have offers and promotions that just sit out there on their website, hoping somebody stumbles on those. So we've allowed them to connect that way as well. So if I have a sale on paper and your business is looking for paper, you can actually send that directly to other users on the platform. And
Wow.
we also built in that there's a section on our what's called articles. So how many small businesses have a newsletter or some type of demo video that sits on their website waiting for someone to trip on it and build that,
Right.
mailing list? This is a way that they can actually take that and send it directly to users that are looking for that information. So it was just a different, simpler approach, so that the way the site works is you create a platform. And then through that platform, you control what information comes into you and what information you're going to send out and where it goes to. So it is built on really deciding what I want to see and how I want to see it. So it's a little bit different of approach than exists today.
Okay. So if I'm understanding this right, so
Mhm.
instead of me going to Google per se and just Googling that I need a specific product or whatever, and it's sending me to all kinds of different companies because
Right.
let's face it, Google is pretty good, but usually it'll have like one random business that doesn't have anything to do with what I'm Googling, but for some reason it popped up
And
because of the name I typed in.
100 million people that are on that search result too. So yeah.
Right, right. So, but your product here, your site is giving the opportunity that if I need paper, like you said, or if I need marketing help or something, I am looking specifically for that. Only the businesses that can help me for that specific need will pop up,
Correct, and
right?
actually, right, and they will actually receive what's called a need request or the lead request then. So that will show up, and they can
That's
decide,
cool.
hey, it's something that I'm interested in, and I'm not interested in. If I'm not interested, I just click that, and the sender never knows who I am. And if I am interested, you can actually message each other through the platform as well. So if I have a few more questions before I decide if I'm interested, I can message them back and forth. Now, one of the key features is the site is built so users remain anonymous. So,
Oh,
like, if you send me that message, I don't know who you are until you click that you are interested in, and you don't know who I am.
I like that.
So you're not going to get hit with all those, emails or phone calls. I'm looking for a printer, and also next thing I know, I have 15 printer people calling me. So again, it's trying to be respectful of people's time, and small businesses spend so much time working that if you want to do social media, you have to do so much more. So we try to build something to simplify their lives.
I That's so huge what you just said. It's so true too. You will go onto other networking sites or specifically into Facebook groups or something looking for specific help. And all of a sudden, yeah, somebody will mention somebody or suggest a business or what have you. But then you get like all these other people who may be available to you, and then they all know who you are. So then you're getting reached out to directly hoping that they'll win you over and all of that, and it can get very, intimidating at times because then you just don't know who to go with
Right.
because you're getting inundated with calls, messages, what have you.
Right.
So I really love that feature that it's not until the point where you say, "Yes, I want your services," that then they know
Right.
who you are. That's very good. I love that.
Right. Well, thanks. And we also set it up so that we do not get involved in negotiating prices. So really, our service is more about making the introduction to let the I suppose a true free market environment take place where the buyer and the seller set the rates. We don't get involved in any of that stuff, and that's all by design. So
Mm, that's great.
and
That's cool. It kind of So then on the flip side,
mhm,
businesses can sign up to where they're the ones being featured on this site as options
right.
for services and whatnot. And then, they can do they get to choose what they want to be looked for or searched for
Correct.
or what have
Actually,
you?
that's set up by their profile. For example, you brought up marketing. You can set that I do marketing, and that's that we're calling a specialty, but it's really kind of what your business does. So I'm
Mhm.
listed as a marketing person. I can put some keywords in, or I put my location. I can set a geographic radius. So let's say if I only want to deal with people within 100
Mm,
miles of me as well. So there's a couple different ways that you can restrict, so that you're getting people that really want to do business with you. And like you said, you're not looking through a million pages of search results trying to find somebody. So it was really trying to drill it down so that it becomes people in your neighborhood that are trying to work with you. So
that's pretty nifty. I don't think I've ever seen where you could specify a specific neighborhood like that. Usually you go into these search engines and it's just the United States
right, yep,
or the whole state or
or
or like a certain area, but for you to specifically say I only want this specific spot, just this
right,
one.
and pretty
you
much.
know, um
And what
yeah.
and what the site will do is the person that sends a need request will also limit the radius that they're looking for. So the site will actually match up as best it can. So
That
again,
is cool. That's very cool because then, yeah, there could be times where you don't mean to, but you happen to find someone you may be interested in their services, but they happen to be in a totally different state. Then what?
and
So that was a very cool feature.
I've had some Google requests that come back in languages I can't read. So it's
That
different.
too.
But again, it's all about trying to build something simple and very easy to use. And I think that's kind of one of the bigger challenges that we face is that the simplicity of it, because as I've talked to people about this, it's like they come to an aha moment when they realize it's like, that's it.
Yes.
Yes. And it's by design. It's not meant to be complicated. It's meant so that that small business owner who probably makes 150,000 in total revenue, they can't afford to pay somebody for social media. And it's either that or you have to spend 6 more hours a week or whatever the recommendation is to grow their business. So this is just a different way of looking at things. It's again trying to streamline things.
Oh,
So
absolutely. And it's very important what you just said about, small businesses not having that budget per se
right,
for network marketing or for just marketing in general.
right,
A lot of people assume that because they started a business that every business has that money set aside to promote themselves and whatnot until, you know, COVID happened, and now all of a sudden you're realizing, now what are these people going to do with themselves? They go into their brick and mortar business, or they work from home on their business, whatever type of business they have. They were so dependent on word of mouth and doing that out in the world that now they had to like fix themselves a little bit, rearrange their lives to figure out how to do it digitally. And you, with your program, that probably had helped it make it a little bit easier for a
Right.
lot of businesses out there.
Right. Well, and think about the people that were displaced as a result of COVID too, that started up on their own, and so there's a whole nother segment
Yes.
of the population now that, okay, I'm 1 month in a job, and if I'm looking at a logarithm, I'm not going to be anywhere near the top. Well, they could have been doing what they're doing for 20 years. See, and that's
Yep.
part of what we're going to do too, is the site is set up so that there is no advertising. You promote yourself through your offers and through your articles and things of that nature, so that we truly wanted a level playing field. So it didn't matter if your annual revenue is, 300 million or if it was $300. We wanted people to be able to get qualified on what they do and not their budgets. So
That's
it's
so
been
amazing.
it's been a lot of fun working with people, that, and one of them is actually a customer of ours that went out of business, and just her feedback through all this entire
Oh,
process. And as we go forward, we've already started the process of setting up our first user panel so that they can give us the feedback on the site, and they will help us guide where we go. And in fact, I've told several people that the goal is not to have a board of directors, but to rely upon the users of the platform to tell us what needs to be changed. Since again, they're the ones that are going to use it, not a bunch of people sitting in board.
absolutely.
So we are going to have,
Absolutely.
yeah, we're going to have 3-month rotating positions on the board of director, or what our board of directors, our user panel, to help give us guidance and feedback.
Wow, that's so genius. Because it is very important to take from the field, as it were, to hear exactly what they need, how they need it, where they need it, because then that's what's going to help them realize that you actually care, one, for them, and also it'll help them keep coming back because they know that you value their input and how to better the website and whatnot to suit their needs
Right.
and services.
In fact, we already have 6 enhancements to the site plan that were developed with the help of other small businesses, or people in specific industries. There's 2 more tabs that we're looking at, one of which is focused solely on startups, to help them get through the first
Mm,
several months in a new job, and coming up with plans and, things of that nature. So again, I think I've always said that the site itself has been a whiteboard to this point. I'm not a marketing person. I know that. So let's find
mhm.
people that can help us with that. I have an accounting degree. I understand that, but I don't get involved in, budgeting and things of that nature. So finding good people around me, which has been critical, but they're all small business owners. So we share that common bond. And over the last 7 years of doing this, I've gone from someone that observed it to someone that's living it. So it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it quite a bit.
So, what kind of effects did the COVID shutdowns have on your business? I know it's digital, so it might not have shut it down completely per se, but what kind of effects did you notice, if any?
Well, let's put it this way. We were about to launch our a small crowdfunding campaign about March
Mhm.
31st of 2020. So we were getting ready to actually launch at that time. So in essence, we waited because we figured that a lot of the small businesses were really tightening up their belts because nobody knew how long this was going to last. So we kind of held off on launching the site. We did some work on redesigning the website itself. We looked at some of the functionality, and we really waited until June of this year before we started, ramping everything up, because we had a better idea then where things were going to go. So now we're at a point where we're looking for those early adopters and getting ready to get their feedback and help us get this thing going now. So we put us in a holding pattern, more or less. So
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's just been a norm for businesses, that even though they may not have shut down or stopped services altogether, they kind of just find themselves on hold for the moment, trying to break themselves out of that hold.
right, it didn't make sense to try to launch something and shift all of everyone's lives just to have this go under, because we believe in what we're doing so much that we figured it's better for us to wait.
Oh, absolutely.
and get
No, yeah, absolutely.
some more feedback on what we're doing. So, that's part of being a banker. I always get to talk to people. So
It's so great to hear that you went, well, being a banker was somewhat personable because you had to deal with people and listen to their you know,
what
if they
they're
were
going.
applying for loans or whatever. I didn't know exactly what you did in the banking world, but I know it's always about money. And money is always a stressor, no matter what you are, small business owner or just an individual.
Bottom line is money, correct? But I dealt with some customers on some PPP loans, some EIDL loans as well. And
Okay.
even through some of those, you learn some of the trials and tribulations of going through that process. And not everyone was, got some type of aid. So again, as part of this, we've identified 5 charities already that we hope to help and benefit from this. And one of them will definitely be startups and small businesses, because not everyone qualified for that money, and there's certain segments that were left out. So again, how can we give back? Because I've learned a little bit over the last 7 years, or it'll be 7 years on Friday I started this. So
Wow, that's so amazing. I'm so glad that you took a chance on yourself, because starting a small business is exactly that, taking a chance on yourself. But then, it wasn't something just to benefit you, it was for
no,
the good of so many. And that speaks so highly of you and
thank
everybody involved in the process. I mean, speaking highly of you, you didn't just come on here and grace us with your presence.
you.
You're even offering some really great options for
Yes,
my viewers. I'm
right,
so excited. So I tried to retype this so that it makes sense, but I hope we'll see. So there's a subscription for $100,
right.
the 100 Pro membership.
Well, actually,
Um,
we've changed that. We've only gone to one membership for right now, so it is that one, correct?
okay. And it includes a 7-day free trial, right?
Yeah,
And what
yeah.
does it all include then? Access to the portal, I would assume. And what all does a membership entail?
It entails everything. So you have access to generating needs, leads, doing the offers and articles. And one of the things or the first 7 days, since again, we're starting off and our membership is, I think 2 of us right now signed up. The key thing will be, if you have those newsletters we talked about earlier, getting those on the platform, putting your offers and articles. So as the membership starts to grow, it'll be easier for people to find you. So it's the first 7 days will be spent probably on a lot of the legwork to build out your own business profile. Because
Oh, wow.
when you do click that you're interested, a user will see your profile, so they will be able to see from that one screenshot any of the offers or articles that you have pending at that time. So there's a couple different ways they can get to you, but that's probably the most important thing, is managing your profile, setting it up like you want it, and getting that information on site. And
And the membership, are they month to month, or are they for like a year, or how long
that,
does it
that
last?
that will be for 12 months. And going forward, over
Okay.
the first couple of months, we're going to take a look at usage and determine really how we're going to structure everything. So but I think we're probably going to go to 2 plans. One will be a free plan. That's where you can just like receive an offer, an article, or to send it out of need. So you can still do some things on the site, but you won't be able to
Okay.
receive a lead, or you won't be able to send offers or articles. And then we'll have the one paid subscription. But before we start any of that stuff, and this is really where the early adopters are going to be very critical for us. They're going to help us determine what benchmarks are important, and so we don't set up something that doesn't work. I'm not a big advocate of wasting time. So let the users help us determine what is realistic for them, and then we'll build it from there.
Yes. All right. Well, the links are going to be listed on everywhere that I can find to put them, I promise.
Well, thank you.
And I will make I'll make special posts that include them and whatnot, so that I can tag you in it and you all can track who's all looking and commenting. But I thank you for that. Not everybody has to supply special offers like this during the show, so it really is appreciated when they take the time to
Well,
do so.
I thank you for the chance and the opportunity. And if anyone does have questions, just email me. I'm more than happy to set some time up. We're working on setting it up, so I'll have Zoom, and I think Calendly, if that's how you say that, set up so I
Calendly, yes.
gotta make sure, but I'll be able to set up time then so we can have some short, I can take some time to answer the questions. Our demo videos are there. So like I said, if anyone has any questions, please reach out. I'd be more than happy to sit down and chat a little bit more and get your feedback.
Yes, and you did supply me with a demo video too, so I'll be happy to share that too. That'll be really cool to
Yeah,
post up and
there's
so
actually
people can kind of get a look at it.
there's actually 4 on our website that give you a very good
Oh, that's
idea,
cool.
and they take less than 10 minutes. So hopefully that reinforces our motto of simplicity.
I would say so. All right. Well, for those of you who stopped by today, thank you, first of all.
Thank you.
For those of you listening on the podcast version of this, thank you for stopping by to listen and downloading and taking notes of our interview today. Small Biz Highlight started a little over a year and a half ago, and we've been loving every minute of helping small businesses get the word out to let everybody know they exist and how they can help you. Um, Thank you so much, Mr. Scott, for being on this episode this evening. It has been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much for your time. All right.
Thank you.
Good.
As always, I will leave you all with your lovely reminder to put your communities first. We do that by doing 2 very important things. You shop small and you support local. Good night, everyone.
Good night.